Hi there and welcome to today's vlog. Now I want to talk a little bit today about a Roman emperor. I wonder whether you can guess which one I'm going to talk about. Anyway, a little bit about that later, but I want first of all to tell you about something that I've recently discovered. And it's a kind of TV program, but it's not on the TV, if you see what I mean. It's a series called The Chosen. And I think they intend eventually to produce 7 series, and it's all about the life of Jesus Christ and the disciples. I'm not quite sure how far chronologically they're going to go with it, but the beginning with the call of the disciples, etc. It's really fascinating. Now, how do you get hold of it if it's not on a telly? Well, there's an app called The Chosen. So you can download the app and watch it on your phone or your tablet or whatever. And if you've got what's a Google Chromecast, which you just plug into the back of the telly, you can cast it, as they call it, from your phone or your tablet onto the telly. So you can actually watch it on telly. So I really encourage you. Sue and I are really enjoying watching that. So I encourage you to investigate and discover more about that. Anyway, I was watching excuse me, a tweet from a chap called Charles Hanson, who's an auctioneer in Derbyshire. He often appears on programmes like Bargain Hunt, Antiques Road Trip, etc. And he was talking about something that was coming up in one of his auctions. And I think that a discovery had made of some Roman artefacts around somewhere in the York area, including in that lot that had been discovered was a small bust of the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. He was Roman Emperor from 161 to 180 AD. I think he was a little bit after Hadrian. And he's become well known, not least because he was a bit of a philosopher. And Charles Hanson, when he was talking about this artifact that he had, this bust of Marcus Aurelius, quoted one of Marcus Aurelius's well-known quotes, or one of his quotes that's been come down through the centuries. And I thought I'd like to repeat it because it seems to me a really interesting one. He said this: "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." What a great thing that is, isn't it? To have that attitude when you arise, when you're awake in the morning. First thing, not to let your mind be crowded with the problems or issues of the day, but to arise with that sense of thanksgiving. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. And I don't know whether Marcus Aurelius had a faith in God, in Jesus Christ, but that seems to me a principle or a philosophy that fits very well in with our Christian faith. We're called to be a people of thanksgiving. That's what St. Paul says: give thanks in all circumstances. We have, even in tough times when the going is hard, so much to give thanks to God for. The second quote I want to mention with you will be familiar if you've ever watched the film that I really enjoy, Gladiator. It's about a Roman officer who, well, it's a long story, but he becomes a gladiator. He's called Maximus. One of our grandchildren is called Max. We call him Maximus. And he's, on one occasion in the film, he's trying to encourage his troops. And he says, what we do in life echoes in eternity. And that comes from a quote from Marcus Aurelius, who said, what we do now echoes in eternity. So our influence, our actions, our words, how we use our time is not just for now, but actually may have massive implications. What we do now, what we do in life, echoes in eternity, and that's something for us all to ponder on. So a little bit about Marcus Aurelius, and I hope that you find those two quotes of interest and maybe helpful to reflect on and think about how they are lived out in our own lives. So God bless you. Thank you so much for listening today.